I was barely 500 meters from work when my phone vibrated violently in my pocket. The voice on the other end crackled with tension. "Sir, your son was found alone at the airport, near the departure gates." The line buzzed with static, but nothing could drown out the faint sobs I heard in the background. My son's voice breaking. "He told me to wait, he left." I couldn't move. My body locked up, fingers white-knuckled around the phone. My co-worker caught the shift in my face, and without hesitation, he barked, "Get the helicopter." His tone cut through the room like a command in battle. I had kept calm for so long, but in that moment, every ounce of composure shattered. My ex-wife assumed I was still wrapped in quarterly reviews and strategy sessions. She had no idea I was already in motion, fury building with every step. 10 years ago, I made vows beside her under stained glass and solemn silence. I believed in what we were building. She gave me our son, Adam, my anchor, my reason. When things started to crumble, I fought. I swallowed pride, bent over backward for therapy, listened, changed. But she wanted more glamour, louder applause, someone who didn't ask questions. She found him, smug, tall, expensive on the outside, hollow on the inside. Her exit wasn't just a departure. It was a deep extraction. And the man she left me for, already entwined with her long before divorce papers ever landed. He fed her lawyer ammunition. She took half of what I built from dust, painting me in court as absent, emotionally unavailable. She won full custody, making Adam a guest of my life. Still, I endured. I attended every birthday, every awkward holiday handoff. I smiled as that man smirked across the room, smugly labeling me the lesser father. I took it for Adam. But today she allowed that man to leave my son alone in one of the busiest airports in the country. That was the day I stopped being silent. The helicopter cut through the sky like a blade of judgment. I didn't go home. I landed near the courthouse, marching with a folder in hand, filled with timestamps, video clips, airport personnel statements, and a motion for emergency custody. I'd spent years preparing, quietly gathering evidence. Missed pickups, late-night voicemails from Adam, crying, neighbors' reports of him left alone for hours, screenshots of her neglect, even drawings from Adam's journal, shaky crayon sketches of fear. Her lawyer called. I didn't answer. My son needed me, not explanations. When I reached the airport, Adam ran into my arms. He was shaking, voice trembling. "Do I have to go back?" I kissed his forehead. "You're staying with me now. Always." 3 days later, we stood in court. She walked in, dressed in synthetic sorrow, her husband slinking behind her like a cologne-drenched ghost. He had that same look, unbothered, untouchable. He didn't know I'd built a wall of truth high enough to bury them both. The judge watched video footage of her husband walking away from our son without a backward glance. A tiny boy, alone, crying beside a departure gate. Her mask cracked. There was no story left to spin. No fake tears, no defense. Just a cold, damning silence. The ruling came down immediately. Emergency full custody granted to me. But I wasn't finished. I reopened the financial statements from our divorce. Her husband's wealth? A sham. Fake assets. Shady transactions. Offshore accounts with no paper trail. Fraud. Tax evasion. The prenup they counted on? Nullified. We froze their accounts. Seized a penthouse. The sports car. Every surface-level luxury they clung to like status symbols. Civil lawsuits started to pour in. She lost everything. Even her so-called friends, the ones who adored her curated image of glamour and stage charity, vanished like smoke. Her husband? He disappeared before the subpoenas reached his door. He always was the running kind. She left voicemails, broken, shaken. I made a mistake. I didn't know. I didn't call back. 2 weeks later, she appeared at Adam's school play. She wasn't on the list. Sunglasses couldn't hide her anymore. Adam saw her in the crowd, then looked up at me, questioning. I leaned close. "Do you want her to stay?" He paused, then shook his head slowly. I rose and walked over. She stood, desperation clinging to her like perfume gone stale. "I just want to see him, please." I looked her in the eyes, calm, direct, unchanged since the day she walked away. You had a family. You threw it away for a fantasy. That fantasy is gone. Now you're alone. Sit with that. Security took over from there. She tried to resist, but they were already leading her out. I never raised my voice. I never needed to. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's careful, patient, like sharpening a blade for years before using it once. I didn't destroy her. She did that all on her own when her lies collapsed. Adam sleeps peacefully now. He doesn't cry at night. He doesn't wait by the window. Sometimes he still asks, will she come back? I answer honestly, no, and that's a good thing. People say forgiveness is power, but they're wrong. Power is restraint. Power is silence that cuts deeper than any scream.